I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Yep, you want your boy? Go pick him up. He's over here, on a fucking concrete where I left him.
On an individual level, we have to learn that they are vile.
Not worth calories.
And you're Gen Z and you won't date me.
My email accounts are...
True international effort to pressure.
The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
Gentlemen, welcome. Please find a seat and relax. We have a lot to discuss. Welcome one and all. I'm KC.
And I am DC.
And we are two goddamn gentlemen, bringing to you this and every week a celebration of all things wood, rope, mystics, and magnums. Head over to twogoddamngentlemen.com to vote on the Hall of Gentlemen voting booth, as well as find links to our Twitter, link to our YouTube, and a link to our Patreon, where you gain access into our live Discord during all free and bonus episodes, including a brand new podcast we beat available right now, featuring 2 girls, 1 headphone, and 0 listeners.
And 0 talent. Don't forget about that.
And 0
Some
talent.
podcasts have tons of talent and 0 listeners. They have 0 listeners and 0 talent. Don't get them twisted.
Yep, neither's better, but both exist. Leave us a voicemail to be heard on the show at 321-POV-FUCK. And don't forget to subscribe on whatever podcast feed you use. If it is the Steve Jobs one, leave us a 5-star rating and a detailed review ranking your 700 favorite moments from our first 31 episodes. DC, if you would please read back the minutes to last week's meeting.
Only 700?
That's not a big ask.
What are they going to do with the rest of their time? KC, visit the Hall of Gentlemen. Like you said, it is updated. Then go to the voting booth. You can find every single gentleman from every single episode. Vote on them there. And have your way with our top 3. We'll get to that a little bit later. But first, our gentleman from last week, your Ned Low. Totally a gentleman. +3. Solid opener. Rasputin, the giant cock of Russia. Totally a gentleman. +5. So, just a little longer, a little bigger.
Sound reasoning.
KC.
I think we both brought gentlemen last week, and I think they both belong in the gentleman category. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and as far as the top 3, you still own 2 of the 3, so why don't you go ahead and kick us off there?
Yeah, this is odd. DC, for the first time, I'm going to go 3-1. In third place with a +24, it's Mel Gibson.
Hey, there he is. That's a lot of votes less than he had last week, or every week. Slowly climbing. In first place, but slowly climbing. And then because we finally got to somebody who heard us say you can literally just spend 5 minutes and vote on the same person over and over again, and you could probably affect the list in a big way. Someone took us up on that, literally spent, I think, 6.5 minutes voting, and got not only Mel Gibson down, but I'll continue. Brigham Young, +29. He got a +2 out of this feisty voter. And go ahead with number 1 if you would.
A brand new number 1, +36. It is Victor Lustig. And DC, while I am upset that Mel no longer holds the top spot, Victor Lustig sold the Eiffel Tower twice, and he never owned it once. I mean, the guy's a goddamn gentleman.
It was fantastic, the things he did. The things he did were... I don't even remember him. I think that's part of the joke. I don't know what the fuck. Victor Lustig? Come on.
He's a con man. I had to Google it today.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, let's go back and revisit that episode, or just go to the voting booth at twogoddamngentlemen.com/voting booth, and let's get this somewhere in good terms as far as where they should be. The bottom 3, this I'm more comfortable with. Yeah, I'm a little more comfortable with this ranking here. Joe Biden slips another few down to -67. Maddox also slips 7 or 8 down to -75. And KC, I think we all know, no one's sitting at the computer and helping out our boy Tommy Tudor, right? No one is helping him.
No one.
I think he added another 15, 20 down. I lose count at this point. He's at minus 232. We're going to have to create a new category for like below Ultimate Miscreant. Because, I mean, there's not even anybody close. Not even anybody close.
I mean, maybe we retire.
The chat says
after...
the damned. Jess a la Blanc in the chat says the damned. I kind of like that.
The damned is good.
He's just the damned, and just toss him aside. Can't vote on him anymore. He retires. Hall of Fame. Hall of Shame.
That's so far down there. I was thinking maybe retire all the gentlemen after like 100 episodes, and then the new Ultimate Miscreant becomes the Ultimate Tutor.
Yeah, and then it's like Sports Center's top 10. Like, you got to beat the number one spot. If you do, they just, right. They disappear forever. And then they'll show up again in a tournament or something stupid. March Madness of best This Is Sports Center clips. But anyway.
During these 50 episodes, Hitler still ranked the worst at a minus 127. Nowhere near the Ultimate Tutor.
Nowhere near. We'll try again next year, folks. Oh, shit. That's really funny. So those are your bottom three. A couple of other gentlemen who we thought were gentlemen anyway, but are in the dregs, I believe. David Merrill Gill, who is hovering near the poverty line. You may remember his crazy Christian songs that he sang. I get them stuck in my head to this day. Lord, come in me, or something like that. I think that's pretty much, what the song was. He's back on YouTube, which is awesome, because he's complaining about his parents. Now, David Merrill Gill he's got to be pushing 55 to 60. Would be my guess. I could easily look it up. I didn't. I'm a lazy son of a bitch. But he's old, right? And he's complaining about his parents. Why? Because they don't let him do what he wants and all this kind of shit. No, because they're old and they need his help all the time, and he doesn't have time for that. He spent like 30 minutes on YouTube complaining about how he couldn't run away from home because he can't drive, and because he doesn't have the money to get a bus ticket or something crazy. He's an incel of running away from home.
He's got all of the ability of an 11-year-old to run away from home. All the same problems.
Except an 11-year-old might pull the trigger and run around the block or two, before they come to their senses.
Can confirm, actually.
So
I
he's
did that
back.
one time. I ran away from home. I went up the hill. It was home in 40 minutes. It's I went less than a quarter of a mile. Way better than what David pulled off.
Way better. And when I was 7, I ran away from home, but it was rainy outside. So I made it 4 houses down, and then I sat in the gutter and just sat there this sucks. It's raining. I don't have anywhere to go. The further I go in the rain, the further I have to come back potentially in the rain. So I just turned around and went home, and never ran away again.
Chat, no one noticed. Yeah,
White.
Either one of us.
No one noticed at all. No, they noticed. It was a babysitter. I ran away on the babysitter. That must have taken a year or two off her life, because even though I went 4 houses up, she didn't watch me leave the house. I snuck out of that bitch. So at some point, she freaked out and came and ran outside screaming, and then that was the last straw. That I was okay, I'll come back now. And then I went back home. After she caused a crazy ruckus. Yeah, after she caused a scene like they do, then I came home. So the feminarchy wins again. What do they call that? What do they call that ridiculousness when women are in charge?
Matriarchy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you say so.
Feminarchy's good too. I like it.
The feminarchy got us again. And the second gentleman is yours, actually. But what do you know? What have you been hearing about Jake Paul these days?
Okay, so I knew this update that you have snuck up on me because I was aware of it, that it was going to happen, but you, thank God, were on top of it. I guess it's this weekend?
It's the 17th, so it's coming up.
Okay, so we got it.
But they're doing the media tours now, and this
I definitely would have had it then. No worries, guys. DC didn't save a thing.
But right now is the media shit, so they're talking and barking at each other, and that's kind of the most intriguing part about this fight. Like a Conor McGregor fight is the fight, but you will watch everything leading up to.
I didn't
Conor
say it, by the
McGregor
way.
fight.
It's Ben Askren, for those that don't know.
Yes.
Jake Paul's fighting Ben Askren.
The one who got the knee to the face at 5 seconds from Jorge Masvidal.
It was like, Ben Askren, finally in the UFC, and he's gone.
And he's dead. I thought he died. Because I didn't even pay for that pay-per-view, but I was on Twitter looking for people who would like post it before Dana White, killed them. And I got like update from people that were, watching it and saying like, he's still down. Yeah, he's still down. Medical people around him, he's still down. Like I scrolled for like 10 minutes and he was still down. I was like, Jesus Christ. Usually they've woken up by now. I think he might be dead and or paralyzed. But turns out, no, he's just retarded now. Oh wait, no, that was Jake. But anyway, we got tape of their press conference, and it was embarrassing for one of them. I don't know if you can guess, but this MMA Weekly, I believe it is, MMAweekly.com, they did a fantastic video on this, so shout out to them. Go to MMAweekly.com for more shit like this. This was hilarious.
This guy's striking is that of a grandma. Quite literally, if I put a grandma in against Jorge Masvidal, she would have lasted longer than this guy. He's a good athlete, they say, but April 17th, he's going to get exposed. This is boxing versus MMA, and you're going to see the difference. You're going to see the difference of a wannabe fighter, a guy who choked in the Olympics, a guy who choked in the UFC, and now a guy who's going to choke against Jake Paul. Ooh. I'm going to end this guy's career as an embarrassment. Masvidal did it once, I'm about to do it again.
I'd heard of Jake Paul prior to accepting this fight, but I couldn't have told you a lot about him or his brother. I knew, he kind of came up in his brother's shadow. He was trying to fill his brother's footsteps. His brother is a lot more talented, has a larger following. Those type of things.
You literally went on your Instagram and asked people for roast. You asked people for roast on your Instagram, and that was the top comment was say that his brother is better than him.
Is he?
That's like calling Kylie Jenner Kendall Jenner. Like
I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
that was terrible. That was a terrible showing.
Everyone's embarrassed.
That was a terrible showing by your boy. That's like calling Kylie Jenner Kendall Jenner. I don't know anything about them. That's it. He won. Ben Askren, honorary gentleman of the week. Congratulations.
Oh, he got the best of it, gentleman. That makes him a gentleman by proxy. Good job by him.
Yeah, it's true. Your boy is no gentleman. He is solidly in the dregs.
That's true. Yeah,
as are most of them. Somehow, I don't get it.
Well, DC, what do you say we try to add more to the positive category?
Oh, please, let's do. Casey, I have to apologize to you because when we were talking about who was gonna bring in who, I kind of had an idea of who I wanted to bring in, and I had a source for maybe 4 or 5 good videos that I could clip and make something out of, but I wasn't sold that it was going to be, much. Oh boy. Casey, this might be one of the best. Okay. When you think comedy series, like best comedy series of all time, Chappelle's Show is up there for me.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And one of the funniest sketches he had was Clayton Bigsby.
Unfamiliar.
The blind black KKK member.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Hilarious, right? Clayton Bigsby is the best.
That's funny as fuck.
I found Clayton Bigsby in real life who isn't blind at all, and his name is Jesse Lee Peterson. If you would for me, please play this first clip.
Excuse me, ladies. Have you heard of Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, we have.
You have? May I ask you a few questions, just a couple questions
Sorry,
about that?
we're on a really tight time schedule. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Those fucking white bitches. How dare they not give him the time of day? He wanted to ask about Black Lives Matters. He's a black gentleman. Like, he deserves the respect to at least, don't continue walking while you're telling them you're on a tight schedule. Like, stop and just say, like, oh, hey, yeah, sorry. We're on a tight schedule. Thanks, and then leave. Like, be cordial about it, ladies. Jesus Christ. But no, they can't. So he turns to
also
maybe
no
more
shot they were on a tight schedule. No
shot.
Absolutely
to
no chance.
To Starbucks. to the treadmill. No, so he tries his luck with people who I think probably would have been more sympathetic to the cause, if you play the next clip for me.
Is Black Lives Matter an evil group or a good group?
Oh, hell yeah, it's a good group.
You believe that the police are racist against black people?
Hell yeah, you got some out there. I got beat by police and he called me a nigger. Hell yeah. He was chasing me and he beat me down.
And they asked you to stop and you wouldn't stop?
Nah, yeah, you right. Yeah, I didn't stop. He asked me to stop, but I didn't stop.
Well, you can't do that. I mean, you can't do that. And, Jesse Lee Peterson is not the type of man to let somebody off the hook, like, easily. Go ahead and play the next clip. He follows up.
So when they took you down, it was the right thing to do because had you stopped, they would not have had to take you down, right?
You're right.
There we go. Somebody helped. I love it.
Wow. Brilliant.
Yeah, I love it. Now, Jesse Lee Peterson is somebody who has been doing this sort of thing, street activism and stuff like that, since like the 90s. The whole 90s. He was on Bill Maher before it was cool.
Bill Maher, is that what it was?
Yeah, I don't respect him, so I said his name wrong. He was on his show right after 9/11, so he's been in the spotlight for a little while. But this next clip is hilarious to me. If you play this next clip, this is Jesse Lee Peterson getting on Univision.
Are you all right?
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm feeling better than ever.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Are you racist?
Am I what?
What are you think of these people now? Why? Why you stay
He
here?
said, are you racist?
Am I racist?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a racist. Why do you ask that?
Well,
Why is it that people who stand up for America and who want to protect our own borders, why are we always trying to be backed up with the racist thing?
Yeah.
All right, so
Latina lady. Boo.
All right, so for audio listeners, that was a white guy bleeding from the head, and it looked like Jesse Lee Peterson was standing to his left.
From a mass outbreak of peace and love, probably is what busted his head open, I think.
Seems
peace,
like
love, and acceptance.
Overly affectionate protesters, yeah.
Right, in the name of diversity.
So, she's questioning him. Do you know what he's protesting? And
he's protesting illegal immigration, and she is from Univision and is asking if he is a racist. And he defends himself by saying, how come every time we're, protecting America or whatever his own agenda was, we get called a racist and we get backed up. So, actually, you know what? Boo, white guy. How dare you say that? How dare you stand up for you being not racist when clearly you've been accused of it, and that's all it takes nowadays. So, you've been accused. You've been accused, and I demand an apology. But a gentleman always comes to the rescue, and Jesse Lee Peterson was right by his side. Go ahead and play the next clip here.
If I'm standing with him, how can I be a racist?
Are you a racist?
No.
So why would you ask him is he a racist?
Well, let me see.
Why would you ask that question?
Why you stand here?
And you asking him because he's white, and you want to get away with this racist remark. Are you a racist?
No.
So why is it that he a racist because he's standing up for the country?
Do you like the Latin people? Do you like them?
Do you like them? No. Do you like them?
Yeah, I
like
love
America?
these people.
Do you like America?
Yeah.
Then what's the problem? You should be out here picking it with us. That's a dumb question to ask.
But, KC, a gentleman never lets somebody off the hook easy, as we've said. Go ahead and play the next clip. He just lays into her a little more.
You're asking that question so you can use it on your program to make him look like a racist. Why don't you ask me am I racist? Because I'm black, right? I love America too, and I think these illegal aliens need to be shipped back to their country. So why is that racist? You're a racist for asking him that question.
Thank you, Jesse.
Oh shit!
Nothing. Nothing.
She is shut down. Oh, she has nothing left.
Nothing. Oh my god, it gives me the goosebumps. It's so funny. I love that shit.
Oh my god, she was white actually at the end of that clip.
She grabbed a sign and started marching around with everybody else. So he is, anti illegal immigration, which puts him at odds with a former president that, he has no good feelings towards, or any of his family. Go ahead and play the next clip for me, if you would. This is from his show.
This is the daughter of the president and the first lady of the United States of America. Now tell me that children don't become like their parents. Here is Malia Obama dancing, and watch, you're going to see her pull up her, whatever is tied around her waist, and show her hoochie mama underwears. While bumping and grinding. I don't know if she's bumping, but she's grinding. Isn't that something? You shocked, huh? Andre is shocked.
Andre is shocked.
Andre
Casey
is fucking shocked.
Can you believe she acts that way?
Clip? What was the point of that?
He hates the Obamas. He calls Michelle Obama Big Mama. He makes fun of her hairy armpits and how muscular she is and all the other things that point to her being a man. Like, all those things. He rips her apart all the time, and he doesn't hold back. I'm just showing you he hates Obama's kids. And Andre is shocked about that.
Andre is. He certainly is.
Now, Casey, when you are a gentleman and you have controversial maybe opinions about some things, you want to be as transparent as possible with your viewpoints so that straw men and attempts at straw menning does not work. If you would play the next clip for me, he shows this brilliantly.
Let me go to Atticus out of Dallas, Texas. Atticus, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yes, Jesse. I want to speak to you regarding the affirmative action thing.
Okay.
You speak of?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when it comes to affirmative action, you
best
say
T-shirt
that
ever, by the
blacks
way.
are not qualified,
right?
That they only get into these schools because they're not. Are you saying they're not intelligent enough to get into school,
right?
On their own merit?
Yes.
That's what you say.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think. What? Now what do you have to ask?
Oh, just straight honesty.
Just straight honesty. And then not only that, but then take the time to shut down the racism and educate, Casey. The next couple clips, if you would, for me. Illustrate that.
Are you saying they got in before affirmative action existed?
Yeah, they got in before affirmative action existed.
Because back in those days, Atticus, black people were noble people. They worked hard. They got married. They set good example. They bought land. And they didn't blame anyone for anything. They were able to overcome. But since the civil rights movement, blacks have not developed. They look to so-called black leaders to tell them how to think and what to do. They rely on the government to provide for them. The men are like black women in that they are emotional. They live in their imagination. They're angry. They become like their mamas.
Oh, no! Come on! Can't bring the mamas into this, Jesse. Come on, no. That's the line, sir. That's the line. But he does come up with a fantastic new philosophy, maybe, or I don't know, a way to live your life. Not black supremacy or male supremacy or white supremacy, but self-supremacy. If you would play the next clip. I think I'm going to adopt this into my life.
That sounds fun, actually. I'm into that.
Okay. I see that you're good at making all these assertions regarding black people, but you exclude yourself. You know, none of these things that you say regarding black people, you don't include yourself in those, though.
And you know why, right?
No, I don't know why.
Because I'm
because
not.
You think that you somewhat above You know, the average black person.
Yes.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He goes on to explain what he means by that, because that could sound a little bit, much.
Okay.
Because I don't believe that the white man or anyone is superior to me. I believe that if I put the effort into it with a good attitude, there's nothing that I cannot do. I treat all people the same because I understand the battle is a spiritual battle, has nothing to do with color. And so I treat all people the same.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty simple.
That's pretty simple. Pretty simple, everybody.
Straightforward.
Now, that's not very, I don't know, I think everybody can agree with that sentiment. Treat everybody equally and try your hardest and know that if you do your best and you have a good attitude, that things will work out for you. If we could convince more people of that mindset, I think that could fix a lot. Also, if people could teach show hosts to intro their guests the way he intros this next one, the world would also be a better place. Show the next intro video, please.
Black power! Black power. I'm Skyping with Cynthia G. Cynthia,
Yes.
I get the impression that you are an angry, nasty woman.
I only saw her for 7 seconds. I got that impression as well.
Yeah, he doesn't. He really didn't hold back, and as some people can tend to do, she tries to talk over him, and his mute button game is on point. Go ahead and play this next clip and watch, think and understand from her side of things that she can still hear him, and she thinks he can hear her, and the realization of it.
Oh, this is great.
Hitting is fantastic.
Why am I getting that?
You get a lot of false impressions. But I would like to take a minute to respond to what you said before we went to break.
Hold on.
You said that black anger is why.
Yeah, shut it down. Cynthia, she's an angry, nasty woman, and it's these type of black women who are raising black boys and girls that are becoming just like them, and they blame this on white people.
Oh my God.
And until we can change that situation, things are not going to get better. And all angry people feel like victims, and they blame someone else for that. And if we don't deal, Cynthia, with what's happening in the home with these mothers destroying the souls of their children, and then the race hustlers using them for their own personal gain, how would black people ever get better?
That's beautiful usage of the mute button.
And the way he sneaks in a whole bunch of shit that might be a little debatable.
Sure.
Throws it all in, and then ends with a point that nobody can argue with. It's like, until we look at ourselves and think, how can we be better? How are things ever going to improve? It's like, God damn it. Why'd you have to end on that eloquent sentence? But he did, and we love him for it. Also, this, I think, is a great teardown strategy on his part. Number one, mockery. I think we can all get behind that. Play the next clip, if you would, for me.
This is why I don't buy into your fatherless home narrative, because you have a community of white people who have fathers in their homes, and they're still being domestic terrorists. They're still being racial terrorists. They're still committing the most rapes and violent crimes. So I would like to know, why are they doing that when they have fathers in the home?
This sounds like a joke. Are you playing a trick on me right now?
Oh my God. This guy is...
That's one way.
He is... I mean, some of the stuff he says is obviously just a little bit absurd. But... it is refreshing, just the level of, this is it. These words are what's coming out, and I don't give a fuck.
And no one can say shit about it, because you know why you can't say shit about it. Number two, best way to shut someone down or tear them down is mirroring their hypocrisy back on them. And also in this clip, a one-word closer. I want you to see, well, you'll know what it is. It's fucking fantastic. Go ahead and play the next clip.
But I do notice that you are deflecting, which is interesting. I would have expected the trolling to come from your callers, not from you, because when you resort to petty name callings and making statements that bear no importance on the topic, that just means you're trolling.
So when you call me white,
I'm starting to believe, Jesse, that you're the one who have nothing to say because you've reduced yourself to a troll.
when you call me white supremacy, was that petty name calling? Was that petty name calling?
No, it wasn't. It was giving you an analysis on your rhetoric, my analysis on your rhetoric.
Amazing.
And it's
amazing.
Casey, he hits people with amazing in such a way that it, like, with someone who has any kind of like self-awareness like yourself, I tend to think I could be all right with it. Someone hits you or me with an amazing after we say something, and we have to think about what we just said. Like, oh shit, did what I just say, was that completely stupid? Because
how bad was that?
Just,
what order did those words go in?
He does it again to another girl, and I it's hilarious. Play this next clip. It's amazing.
Do you respect men? Do you respect men?
I respect people who show
How about men?
high moral character and don't peddle lies and disinformation to the American public.
Do you respect men?
Smile.
I know.
I sure, yeah. I
You do.
respect men, but I judge people as individuals.
Amazing.
I fucking hate the smile talking,
Yes.
especially when visibly upset.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
I'm forcing this face. I'm forcing this face to make it appear like it's pleasant, so you think I don't give a fuck. But I'm about to burst every vein in my body, keeping this smile on, so it's not fooling anybody.
Yeah,
I want to,
fine, and I know that because I'm smiling, and everything's not gonna burn around me fully in the next 5 seconds. I know that, and I only 2 bottles of wine tonight, for sure.
Only 2. Casey, it's great that he does it, on Zoom calls and stuff, because it's somewhat more face-to-face than when he rips people apart on the phone. But I really love it when he does it straight up on the street, face-to-face. Go ahead and play the next clip for me, please.
You say you have children?
I do.
Are you married?
I'm not.
And do your children know that you're a slut?
Do they know that she's what?
A slut. Do your
Oh,
children
a slut.
know
Oh,
that you're a
shit.
slut? Oh my god, I can't believe that he didn't get stricken down by this Karen here. But no, Casey, what do we know about a gentleman?
Well, he's always acquitted.
Never lets
What
somebody
else?
off the hook. He always is acquitted. But he also never lets anybody off the hook, and this lady's no different. Next clip, please.
Do my children know that I'm a slut? My children know that I'm an empowered woman, absolutely.
Do they know you're a slut?
My children know that I'm an empowered woman. And if that means that I'm a slut, then my children are going to know that I'm a slut.
So they don't know right now that you're a slut.
My children know that I'm an empowered woman.
Are you going to eventually let them know that you're a slut?
Are you going to let your children know that you're asking women if they're sluts?
That's the worst comeback ever. Are you going to eventually tell your children that you're asking women if they're sluts? So bad. Oh, you have to walk away and think about that one. Casey.
That's when you want to pull back in and stuff it back down your throat, but it's not coming back. It's gone.
Yeah, it's terrible. Casey, the rest of these are more fantastic one-liners from Jesse. I think one on the street, and then he sits down with, I think, another fellow pastor, and those I just want to sit back and enjoy because I feel kind of bad for the other guy. But anyway, go ahead and play the next clip for me.
Then why are you attacking me, saying that I left my people?
You wound up leaving. When I say your people, maybe I shouldn't have said your people because I know that's the thing you're hanging your hat on there.
You know why you say your people? Because you hate black people. And you don't want to see.
A fool if you say
don't
that.
want to see a free black person.
Oh, you're such a fool. You
are a Democrat.
The same playbook.
You are a Democrat who does not want to see a free black person leave the plantation. That's what you're telling us.
Nothing. He had nothing. No comeback.
Jesus Christ. I am not even going to pretend to know what that really means. Like, I'm not even going to... No, the leaving I'm not even going to try. Like, what a black person...
Oh, yeah. He thinks only Republican black people are celebrated as being, like, independent thinkers is what his point was, I think, on that.
Okay. All right.
That they're not like the sheep Democrat black guys. And he references that as the
that's a weird
the plantation. Yeah, like the Democratic Party's the plantation. I wouldn't have said it. I couldn't get away with that.
So far
Jesse Lee Peterson, on the other hand, he decided he could say that. And
Absolutely.
he can.
Well, he certainly can say it.
Yeah.
He certainly can say it. I just didn't know what it meant.
Well, I don't think we'll ever find out. I think he's a little bit crazy. But anyway, next clip for me, Casey.
And some more. Does racism affect black employment? Yes. Are there other things that affect black employment? Certainly there are. Racism is one of them. Perhaps some character issues, depending on who the person is.
Let me go back to this. First, I want to say that racism doesn't exist. It's an illusion. What do you say about that?
Jesse Lee Peterson, everybody. That is my gentleman. I couldn't believe all the funny things that he was saying.
He's yeah. What a gem. I can't believe he hasn't like popped across the internet feed over the last few years just seeing one or two of these funny clips because he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He popped up a lot around the Trump pussy hat thing. Like that's when I first heard about him. So when I was racking my brain like who would be funny to bring in, I remembered that he used to go around asking people, do you care about the negative effects of illegal immigration on the black community? Yes or no. And he would make them say yes or no, and no matter how they answered, it was a gotcha. So it was a hilarious thing to watch people freak out and break down.
Question.
And it's a very poignant question, too. It's it make you think, like, oh, shit, yeah. Does it affect it should. It's got to. It's got to affect all the communities, but, especially the ones that are underprivileged, if that's the point. Doesn't get less underprivileged than, or more underprivileged? How the fuck would you say that? More underprivileged or less underprivileged?
I probably wouldn't try.
Holy shit. Whoever's the bottom of the totem pole, that probably is the slaves, right? The slave class that is the illegal immigration
And just to fuck this up worse, totem pole, that line, if I learned correctly as a kid, is actually wrong too, because the totem pole's organized the opposite way, where the most important people are listed at the bottom.
On the bottom.
So
correct.
Just all of this is fucked up.
Well, that's my gentleman, and I have two honorary gentlemen that are, I hope, the same person, and that person is the producer or creator or marketing manager of the public service announcements for England in like the 70s and 80s. Holy shit. Like I thought the smoking ads that they started coming up with, where they squeeze like that Jell-O out of the lung, that black Jell-O.
Disgusting. Yeah, I was really.
Well, England wasn't.
I was way happier when they brought out the pot commercials where people just turned into the couch. Those were way more enjoyable.
Those were whimsical compared to what England rolled out. Go ahead and show this PSA, if you would, for me.
Shall I tell you about my life?
Kid's playing soccer.
Scored a goal. He's happy.
His teddy
bear.
Yeah,
Dad.
Climbing on Dad, playing in the sprinkler. Sister on the swing, through the sprinkler. Oh, just having a great time.
This guy.
Now we got. Is this the kid grown up now?
No, this is a different guy.
Oh, different guy. So he's just, he's out playing with his buddies. He's drinking beers, driving on the wrong side of the car.
Oh, he's clearly drunk.
Oh, drunk driving. Yep.
Never, ever.
Dude, it doesn't even end there.
Always quoted by AXA Insurance.
Are you kidding me? Like, that would scar me for life as a child if I watched a car flip over a wall, smash a child, his dad run out to the yard with his sister screaming, the drunk guy crawling out of his car as the dad is picking up the lifeless son. It's like, oh my God. All right. I get it. I'll stop at 5.
One more time.
It's horrible. Like, every part of this.
Oh my God. It's fucking one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit.
And it just ends on his face. So Casey, there's that one. And if because I don't want to throw you a sinker like right before you go. So here's a nice little softball comedy pitch for you. This is another one of their PSAs, which I thought they were probably going for a scare factor, but missed the mark. I thought this was hilarious.
Kids with firecrackers. Oh, it blew up early. Kid, there's a hand missing 2 fingers. Jason Pierre-Paul's white cousin.
And what does it say on the there?
It says blast off, DC.
Blast off.
Oh my God.
Oh, so they can do funny ones.
Not worth the risk.
Yeah. So, turns out they can be funny.
That van or car, whatever it was, just fucking barrel rolling through that fence. And it's one of the funniest fucking things I've seen in my life. Dude, that is so goddamn funny. Holy shit.
Yeah, so there you go. I've got 50 of those. So I will go through them, and hopefully there will be more every week, because those are my favorite now.
Oh my lord! Yeah, that was incredible. That was really, 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 really funny. All right, yeah, and if you're just listening to the podcast version, you have to either join the Patreon and watch it right now, or wait a week and then go on our YouTube and watch that fucking clip, because.
Just Casey's favorite thing in the world now.
Casey's favorite thing ever. All right, DC. It's time. I have got some honoraries for you, and then we will dive into my gentleman nomination for the week.
Awesome.
Now, my first one is actually, it's kind of fitting that it's coming off the heels of your public service announcement, because it's kind of a PSA of my own, which is to gentlemen everywhere. Please stop dying for petty reasons women put you up to. And DC, here we have yet another gender reveal party.
Oh God, yep.
Mientras no nos caiga encima.
People on a boat. Plane goes by. What's the sex of the kid?
Yeah, oh, girl, yay.
Oh.
No mames. No mames, se fue al agua.
Again, another stillbirth reveal. I don't know why they keep doing these. Just tell the parents the baby died. It's so dramatic.
So, 2 more men dead because of a gender reveal party, DC. We have to stop.
Only 2? Only 2?
Just the 2. Yeah,
how many women died? These parties are their idea.
I'm assuming all of the things I'm saying. I'm going to say 0. DC, let's move on. My honorary number 2 are the police in Brussels who had to respond to a call about a prank festival being thrown on April Fool's Day. Now, obviously, this is in massive...
Dude, how stupid do you have to be to get fooled at the April Fool's tent?
So a bunch of people are out drinking in a field or a park or whatever, violating whatever distancing bullshit rules are out there. So that's a problem for the police, and one policeman takes it upon his own to really set an example. And DC, this is quick. We will have a slow-mo replay, but let's check on the police in Brussels, see what's going on.
Okay. Oh!
So that was quick. If you want to describe what you saw.
A horse blindsides a guy with its shoulder right in his dome, right in his temple, knocks him out immediately, and he comically face plants into soft ground, and he just stays there. He doesn't even bounce. The head doesn't bounce off the ground really at all. He just firmly implants into the ground with his arms down at his sides, knowing like he was out on his feet, could not even stop himself. That's a woman.
Yeah, it certainly is, DC.
Oh, man, why did they blur the boobs? I never had a chance. I could have never identified that.
Yep.
But I guess that's the point of the movement, isn't it, Casey?
My favorite part, and it's very low in the background. I'm going to try to bring the audio up as high as I can here.
Oh, yes.
Only one guy, seemingly in this whole area, really noticed and had a fun reaction. So first you'll get to see the slow-mo, and then you'll get to hear his reaction. All right, so we get the slow-mo. It's just solid contact. It's solid contact. It's Brian Dawkins on a receiver over the middle. It's just, you're done.
Done. Guys laugh. That's the gentleman of the week. Scrap honorary status. Put him right in the Hall of Fame.
He loved it.
That's the laugh. That's the same laugh you do when like a handicapped kid is like really hauling ass, like in the mall, and they just catch a snag on the carpet. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, sure. Sure. Yeah, of course.
And you just, you're eating your Sbarro pizza and you can't belly laugh, but you already got food in your mouth, so it kind of comes out your nose.
You gotta have the
the exact same.
Snot comes out a little bit with it. DC, honorary number 3 for me. This is just a fun clip. Now, following Jesse Lee, I mean, it's kind of impossible to follow that level of caller trolling that he's capable of.
Sure.
But sometimes we all need to kind of troll or yell to unwind almost, right? Just to make ourselves feel better. And for that, we go to sports talk radio host from Cleveland, Bruce Drennan, who's upset with a caller's take after opening day in Major League Baseball. And I don't really think he's upset, but he's just got to get it out. He's got to feel better, and that's what a gentleman does.
Keep walking him. Don't give him anything to hit. The next guy, the good pitch is down the middle, he won't swing at, but the ball's down around his ankles. He hits the shortstop into a double play. This has been going on for 2 years.
Right. I guess you missed a lot of the games that Reyes hit in the clutch last year, huh?
No.
Oh, yeah. You're an idiot. You're an idiot and you don't know baseball.
I'm not an idiot.
No, you are an idiot. Listen, you're going to tell me
No, I'm not.
You don't know anything. You don't know squat, you stupid idiot. You're going to tell me you're going to make a judgment on the season after one game in 30-degree weather? That proves what an ignoramus you are. Get off our show. Fair weather idiot. All right, we're going to move on here. 844-289-1421. Didn't even have the courtesy to call me by my name. I got a few names I'd like to call him.
Whoa, careful.
Whoa, hey. Spicy.
And then Pontius
Relax.
Pilate, my last honorary. So shout out to him.
Nice. Made right decisions up and down.
All right,
Great
DC.
campaign.
Let's dive into my gentleman nomination for the week, and it's kind of crazy that it took us 32 weeks to get to really one of the top gentlemen of the last 20 years.
Chaz Bono? Oh.
Lawrence Madoff. Born in 1938 DC, he is currently 82 years old, and he's a goddamn gentleman.
That's what I hear.
Now, he's been mentioned before on our show to do with another gentleman who we'll probably mention that again. Born in Queens to Jewish parents. He attended the University of Alabama for a minute. Ended up going to Hofstra out on Long Island where he graduated. And is it time for law school? He went for a minute, but you know what? No, he's a goddamn gentleman, DC. He decides, I've been saving up from my jobs as a lifeguard. He was a sprinkler installer. And he had saved up $5,000, which, back in the late 60s, early 70s. That's like 50 grand this time. So he's done really well for himself. And he starts his own firm, the Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities. As a side note, I think I should mention that his father-in-law did give him a $50,000 loan. But I think it was the $5,000 he hard-earned that really got the job done. He wanted to compete with all of these other big firms on Wall Street, right? He's a small guy trading penny stocks at the beginning. He says, all right, you know what? I'm going to come up with
shekel stocks, please.
Is that dated reference? If you go back far enough, they become shekels now. And that's the 70s, apparently. So he, working with his team, they invent a certain kind of software that can help the firm crunch numbers a little quicker, and that became known as the NASDAQ, because this is a baller as fuck gentleman. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
A gentleman has a good idea, and it turns into a great idea. Now, the firm, now this one I'm going to actually quote directly because too high above my abilities. The firm functioned as a third market provider, bypassing exchange specialist firms by directly executing orders over the counter from retail brokers, middlemen. At one point, Madoff Securities was the largest market maker at the NASDAQ, and in 2008, it was the 6th largest on Wall Street. So, rose to power in the early 70s and was still killing it in 2008. Now, what happened? Who knows?
Dude, what happened to his lips? Does anybody know that?
Oh,
where are they?
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have lips.
He looks like a Muppet. Yeah, he sold them.
Which
no, he lent them to somebody, and
he does look like Stadler and Waldorf. Like he'd fit in perfectly up there.
But with way better hair. Yeah, you're right. Mike B in the chat. That's right. That hair is glorious. I mean, it's like a water park in like every direction.
So Madoff, he was also active in the National Association of Security Dealers, which is a kind of a look-at-yourself organization for all the different brokers to make sure everybody's on the up and up. You know why he's on that, DC? Because he's an upstanding
Because it was after...
gentleman.
Oh, that's right. I thought you were going to say because it was after synagogue, and that's just what they did. But.
Oh, it's just he had time. So he just had it over.
It's where they met after.
So personally, in my opinion, now that we've learned a self-starter, a hard worker, and a person who's got both high moral values and financial abilities, right? So I think we've learned enough. This is a gentleman, and
call it quits.
That's it, right there, right?
Boom! I'm voting for him right now. Where's the vote?
All right. So, I mean, we all know what happened, right? The Ponzi scheme that took him down. False Ponzi scheme, of course. Not admitted to by anyone or everyone involved. But it could have happened a lot earlier. Madoff said that he should have been caught in 2003, but that the bumbling investigators had acted like Lieutenant Columbo and never asked him the right questions. He said, quote, "I was astonished. They never even looked at my stock records. If investigators had checked the depository trust company, a central security depository, it would have been easy for them to see. If you're looking for a Ponzi scheme, it's the first thing you do." Now, DC, this will become a small theme throughout this. These are the people that we trust. This is the government. And they are absolutely fucking useless. Well, maybe trust is the wrong...
the people we trust, sure, yeah.
These are the people we entrust, right? Like, we put blind faith in them in some way. And,
right, when God's
really
asleep.
Bad at it.
When God's asleep, then we go to the government.
I've never noticed God awake. I'm trying to think of one time.
Burn, good burn. That was a good God burn on Easter weekend. That's 2 for 2. Good job.
So, the SEC's Inspector General found that since '92, there had been 6 investigations into Bernie's different firms by the SEC, all of which were botched. 6 investigations. And by the way, as we move forward, this Ponzi scheme did not start after 1992. No. So the fact that there were 6 investigations botched either through incompetent staff work or by neglecting allegations of financial experts and whistleblowers in D.C. I think you're right. I think money had quite a bit.
Yeah. I think some pockets were stuffed and some evidence was maybe smeared.
At least some of the SEC investigators doubted whether Madoff was even trading at all. These people are fucking stupid. I want to talk for a minute about a different player in this DC.
Okay.
And that's this guy, Harry Markopolis.
Harry. I was going to... He looks like a Judd. It's like, hello, my name is Judd Watkins. You're like, yeah, you look like a Judd Watkins.
Judd, Doug, or Harry. It's one of the three.
Yeah, Doug, yeah.
So, I hate this fucking guy.
Me too. Harry, I don't even know what he's about.
I'm going to tell you right now. He became convinced in 1999 of what Madoff was up to. Mm-hmm. And he went through all the numbers, and he started putting them all together and crunching them all on his own, trying to figure out how did he make this much. And he did it over and over, and he just couldn't figure it out. In my opinion, it's because he's stupid. But maybe it was because Bernie was up to no good. But probably because this guy's just bad at math. That would be my guess. So this guy, like the snitch that he is, goes to the SEC Boston office in 2000, and he's like, "Hey guys, listen, this guy's up to some shit." And they were like, "Fucking Harry, get out." No, it's fine. A year later, he comes back. He's like, "No, you fucking Irish pricks. He's up to some shit." And they're like, "No, fuck off. Get out. We're not dealing with it." So he waits 4 years. He's so obsessed about this that in 2005...
Dude, people will stay... I can attest to you, people will stay obsessed about stupid shit for 4 years.
It seems that way.
It will happen, you know.
It seems that way. We've seen evidence. So he goes to the New York City office of the SEC in 2005, and he's like, "Hey guys, listen, this guy is up to..." And they're like, "No, get the fuck out. No, we don't want to hear it." So he's like, "All right,
hey, get out of here. We got synagogue in 30 minutes. Get out of here."
Come back in 2007. He does, and they tell him to get the fuck out again. So this guy is clearly obsessed. He's told to fuck off all over the place. And eventually, after everything goes public, Harry releases a book called No One Would Listen, a true financial thriller.
He should have called it No One Will Read This. And then he could subtitle it still That Lie. But whatever. You know, just rename the book.
Barely beat out the title No One Would Watch Except Michael.
Yeah. No one will hug me. That's what his face looks like. No one will hug me.
He looks so sad. All right, let's stop looking at his ridiculous face and let's go back to our gentleman. Enough of Harry. All right, so what was Bernie really up to? Let's break this down a little bit here. Since the late 80s, early 90s, at the latest, they were falsifying dates and transactions to look the way they should, and they even got a bunch of them wrong. Like had exchanges in on like holidays and weekends and stuff that didn't match up with people's schedules and stuff like that. No one noticed in all 6 investigations going in, right?
They probably chalked it up to human error. Like you would expect stupid shit in people's work. They're like, they missed a fucking holiday thing again in their paperwork. Whatever. Keep going.
These guys never know what day it is when they're at the office. It's bizarre. So they would take the money from these clients, putting it in, and they'd put it in a Chase Bank account. And say, "All right, listen, we're investing your money. You're going to make money slowly over time. Just let us know when you want to take it out, but it's going to be good. It's going to be safe in there." And if they needed cash, like, you know, DC comes and says, "Hey, give me my $5,000 now." They're like, "All right, cool. Well, Casey just gave us $40,000. So here you go, DC. Here's $5,000. Not a problem.
Take it from the pile."
That's right. Just take it from the pile. So this is working really well. And a gentleman is always organized. So Bernie had 2 floors down from his firm in a different office was all these guys, his other department, running the Ponzi scheme. Now, this is when things
otherwise known as a bank to everybody else, but don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Nobody worry about the fact that he just got busted for trying to be a bank independently.
Hey,
like,
stop being a bank.
We're banks already. That's it. Kill them.
by late 2008, Bernie was in trouble.
Yeah.
His juggling act of throwing everybody's money wherever it could be when he needed it was starting to prove difficult. He was scrambling to pay past stuff, right? Bad investments here and there, and all of a sudden, you're no longer on the right side of zero, and then when everybody asks for their money back, you don't have it anymore. And
then you got the Great Depression when that happened to all the banks at once. Weird. Darn it. All the Ponzi schemes are up, fellas.
Hey, stop.
Let's close shop.
Stop being a bank. So he goes from $5.5 billion in his accounts in mid 2008 to $234 million by the end of 2008. Mm-hmm. And that $234 million that was left was not nearly enough to cover the remaining of what he owed. So now it was time to confide his guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Alleged guilt.
Allegedly, right.
So he tells his two sons, Mark and Andrew, and he's like, all right, listen, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to kind of get some shit in order, and at the end of the week, I'm going to turn myself in. And his sons walk out of the room, they're like, 911. And he gets arrested right away. FBI
Jesus Christ.
Dickheads.
Man.
Snitches.
All right, that's
DC.
it. What would it take? Like, honestly, I don't know what it would take for me to dial 911 on my father. Like, on my own father?
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't think there's anything he could do.
If he
where I would,
he
like,
stabbed you?
I look at somebody and I'm like...
What if he stabbed you?
No, if he stabbed me, I just knew that he had a prayer that went wrong. Like, I know that, like, he said... He said a prayer in the morning, and that shit did not go right, and somebody told him that he needed to stab me in the name of the Lord. And I would just convince him that I could see the angel too, and I would say, no, Dad, the angel stopped you. This is a good thing. Can you please take me to the hospital now? Also, I need an extra $60,000 in the will, please. And I won't tell anybody about this. But I still wouldn't call 911 on the guy.
Yeah, no. It wouldn't happen.
Oh, shit.
So the FBI comes and picks him up on securities fraud.
Mm-hmm.
The investigation ensues, and turns out that his investors are missing somewhere roughly around $17 billion. Like, give or take a little bit here or there.
A rounding error.
Yeah,
really.
That's probably what it was. Some people did make money. Wilpons. Wilpons.
Yeah, they got out early.
And then they got their comeuppance at the end. He did receive the maximum of 150 years in prison. I thought it was pretty hurtful that no one showed up to have any positive things to say on his behalf, but that's just proof that the gravy train was off the rails and a gentleman gets deserted at the end, right? That's just awful.
Yeah, so where is Bernie? I assume that he's not at, like, the Hilton jail and suites. Like,
he was in a prison in New York for
okay.
a while, and now he's in a prison, I think, 40 miles out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And actually, about 14 months ago, he started experiencing chronic kidney failure, and they requested for him to be released. And due to the severity of his crimes, he was not. So he is still in prison dealing with that.
Suffering.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
He did, however, outlive both of his sons.
What happened to them?
One of his sons died of an illness, and the other, exactly 2 years after he was arrested, hung himself.
Okay, he took the gentleman's way out.
There you go. And in closing,
hanging yourself. I think that's probably the most gentlemanly way to do it. Hanging yourself.
Hanging yourself. No, off a cliff. Get a good.
Yeah, that's true.
Off a cliff.
Are you going backwards off the cliff, or are you going forwards?
Superman
dives straight down.
Oh yeah, or arms out to Jesus pose, straight down. Just let it fall straight forward.
You know what I think I would do, honestly? At the end, I would just commit to doing as many front flips in the air as I could. Like, I would just tuck and try to count how many so that I'd be, like, distracted so that I wouldn't see the ground coming or anything. I'd just be counting spins. I'd just be counting spins, and then, boom, done.
DC in closing, 150 years in jail, chronic kidney failure, both sons are dead. Worst part about all of this, no lips. Worst part, when he is out of jail, he will just have missed his 200th birthday. So.
Ah, damn it.
It's too bad. It's too bad.
What a dick judge. What a dick judge to make him miss his 200th birthday.
So there you go. I formally submit Bernie Madoff, a true gentleman, as my nominee.
Dude, that's fantastic. This is a great episode. It was funny.
This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Jesse Lee Peterson. Bernie was a must. We had to get him in at some point. I think Jesse probably should have closed. He was funny as fuck.
Oh, dude, I'll bring him back. He's got a lot. He's got a lot of stuff, so he'll be making his way back to the podcast and some updates.
I actually enjoyed the honorary, that fucking car, and the and the horse
and the hand
and the hand and the hand. Oh my god! All right, tell everybody where they can find things.
Go to www.twogoddamngentlemen.com. There you can find all the episode links. You can find the links to the Patreon. You can find the voting booth. You can find our voicemail line at the very bottom. Thank you, Mike B, in the chat. That is 321-POV-FUCK. Please call and nominate your own gentleman. Give maybe a fact or two about them. You know, get played on the show, or be anonymous and still leave one, and you might get played on the show anyway. Keep it short. I have not taken out the rings, I don't think, but I can forward that on so you don't have any rings anymore. I just need to record an intro message to that shit. Maybe you do it.
We'll workshop that this week. We'll have it up. We'll have an outgoing message? We're old enough.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I am old, but not that old.
You are that old. DC, okay. we have brought some true gentlemen tonight. I don't think we've found the ultimate gentleman, and based on the voting, I don't think the listeners have either. So that search continues.
That's what you get for talking all that shit, you fucking asshole.
Wolves aren't gay, USA. Wolves aren't gay, USA.
So there you go. Isn't that a great story, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Meeting adjourned.